Double comparative. Well, then there's a name, a fancy name for that, but basically double comparative is a construction and it's represented by the more. I'll explain in a moment why I say represented and not just it is the more period, okay? Why? No, not why. Example. The more I study at CCEA with teacher Thiago, the more I realize the meaning of my life is studying English and becoming a teacher in the future. So guys, here I can put an entire sentence and here I can put another entire sentence. But I can have just an adjective maybe. The more beautiful is the woman, the more attractive she is. It's kind of redundant, but again, grammatically it works. Let me try something else. The more beautiful is the car, the more expensive it is. Maybe, I don't understand about cars, guys. I confess when we decided to buy our car. I don't drive, by the way. I think I've told you that. My wife chose it and I just chose the color, which is white. Yeah, I like it. Well, but that's not the point. The point is I can use an adjective here, right? The more beautiful is the car, the more expensive it is. Well, why did I say that this represents and not summarizes it and it doesn't express everything with this construction? Because you have to follow the rules of comparative and superlative. If you don't know the rules for comparative and superlative, very soon I'll record a video about that. But for now, to simplify things hugely, remember we say more beautiful, but we don't say more big, you know? You say bigger, because short adjective takes ER, right? So we don't say more small, we say smaller, and we don't say expensive here, we say more expensive. Long adjectives more, short adjectives ER. You have to obey that when it comes to this construction. So you don't say the more bigger or the more big or anything like that. You say something like the bigger the hair, Jesus Christ, the bigger the hair, the taller the person has to be in order not to step on their hair. Or the smaller the candy, the more delicious it is. Maybe. But the point is, you can use the more here or ER here, you know, like the more expensive or bigger, the more here or ER here. It all depends on the size of your adjective, okay? Or, of course, when you have the entire sentence, you're not going to think about that, right? The more I see Julia, the more I want to punch her on the face, okay? Well, and then we have another construction, guys, that is the less, which is the same thing, but of course the opposite, right? The less I practice sports, the less I have disposition to practice sports, you know? It's like a vicious circle, you know? The less I talk to Julia, the better, you know, because she offends me. And then you can mix things, you know? You can do like this, right? You can say, the more I talk to Peter, the less I want to see him. The more expensive is the car, the less chances I have to buy it, okay? And you can use a sentence, just an adjective, a sentence here, you can mix, you have a fair amount of liberty.